Hi, my name is Ivy Starnes, and I'm a gaited horse trainer in Fort Worth, Texas. And this is my husband, Parker.
Hi.
Tell them.
Oh, hi. I'm distracted.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And today we're just doing kind of a fun video, just Q&A for people if they want to ask Parker gaited horse questions. He's been to most of my clinics.
Practically an expert.
Yes. So you can test him, see how much he's been listening, because you've been to Durango, Virginia, Ohio, Minnesota, New Hampshire.
Yes.
And Idaho. So he's been
Texas.
And Texas. So 7 clinics so far.
My math is bad, but that sounds about right.
I think that is right. Because 7 clinics. So feel free to
don't hold back.
Yes.
Don't hold back. Give me the hardest questions you can think of.
We do have in the description. You can see videos that Parker's made of us before and after we were married. Well, I think the one before is mostly of me, and the horses. So Parker is a wedding filmmaker,
videographer, editor, extraordinaire.
Yes, and writer.
I don't write wedding films, but I probably should.
He's very romantic. So yes. So we met. Well, we got married last year in November. And we met 2.5 years ago in Tennessee at a film festival. So we get those questions a lot. The other question, what's the other question that all these horse people ask you?
There are 2. I forgot the silence your cell phone policy.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies. The 2 most common questions I get asked usually when I travel with Ivy is 1, do I ride? And the answer to that one is no, not currently. You can ask more detailed questions about that if you want. But I love horses. I have ridden before, but not in a very long time. And we're just waiting for Ivy to find me a really nice horse, or as I've learned the terminology in the horse ward at these clinics is a husband horse. So, yes. Yeah. The second question is where I'm from.
Yeah.
Yes, because of my accent.
Parker warned me, I don't know, after we were dating for a while, he was warning me that people would ask that question a lot. And then the very first time we went someplace together for a horse clinic or lesson, they asked that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we should ask people if they want to
guess. If you can guess. Yeah, if you can guess where I'm from, I don't know.
Yeah, just comment. Just guess where.
You win. If you get the first guess is correct, you win. That's the prize. Winning.
Man, people must not like this video very much. They're not commenting at all. Either that or this is broken. I don't know which.
Well, until people start throwing questions our way, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can ask me a question.
What is it like being married to a non-horse person? Did you ever think that you would marry somebody that was skilled with horses or had horses, or like, what's it been like for you?
So that is a good question. So I never thought I would marry someone that was interested in horses.
Why was that? I think I know the answer to this.
Actually, no.
Oh. So I think our marriage would be in danger if I was a horse person and I had a different philosophy than you.
Well, so that would be that might be an issue if we both trained horses. Like, we both trained horses and we disagreed. I definitely see marital issues. But that actually isn't why I never thought I'd marry a horse person. I think a lot of it was, honestly, the ratio of guys that are into horses and girls that are into horses is a huge gap. So there are a gazillion times more women in there. And so any guy I'm very realistic, very practical. Any guy that's interested in horses already has a gaggle of girls that want to follow him and be his girlfriend. And so I never assumed I'd meet somebody that believed the same things I did, that was into horses, and that was available. So it was just like super practical reasons that I never thought I'd marry a horse person.
But you wanted a videographer so that you could have somebody come video your clinics for you.
That was just a bonus.
Yeah.
Just a bonus.
Yeah, sure.
So we do have a few people commenting
nice.
now.
Uh,
Ruby says she guessed Boston.
That is a very common guess, but it is wrong.
Not correct. Zach says get you an OTTB, which if people don't know that,
I don't know that.
I figured maybe not. A lot of people brought it. It's off-track thoroughbred. That's the off-track is the first OT, and the TB is thoroughbred mare, and sit back and watch the fun. Huh. And so here's the thing: I want him to like horses,
here we go.
not hate them.
Okay. No, so tell me what is your deal with OTTB?
The idea is get you something that's used to running and a mare and put you on it and just watch the fireworks. And just
watch me like go under a low branch and get whacked off or something like that while you're filming it in slow-mo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
I like that, Zach. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. You're looking out for me. I can tell.
Let's see. Diana says New Zealand.
Kiwi. That is also a pretty common guess, but you are wrong. Sorry.
Sue also guessed Australia. Michelle guessed Australia.
Yeah. Australia might.
Marie guessed a hint of French in there.
That's new. I've never been accused of being French, so that's new. I should add that to my list. That's pretty cool.
Sharon says hi from Arizona. Congratulations on your marriage. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Linda says hi from Minnesota. Lisa says she's guessing Argentina.
No, but I like that we're getting more and more exotic.
So I will say Sue says she knows you from the U.S., so she's guessing Texas.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Yes, Texas it is.
So you got it right first.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a couple guesses. Jan says Puerto Rico. Karen also says Australia. Susan says not from around here, which I'm not sure.
So not around. Yeah, where are you from, Susan? You need to, or do you mean not from around America? Maybe. I
don't know.
Clarify, Susan.
Lori has a question for you. Who's the best gaited horse trainer?
Can you give me some names?
Some names?
No, it's all right. Of course, it's me. I've been to enough clinics that I think that, well, that may not be true. I may not be the best gaited horse trainer at this moment, but I'm in training, and it probably won't be too long before I'll be taking over your clinics.
Yeah, give me a break so I can sit down and eat some food and go to the bathroom.
She does not eat, or she hardly eats. I have to sometimes force her to eat and drink. And she doesn't go to the bathroom at all during these clinics. 9 hours straight, this woman has an iron bladder. So it's pretty frightening, actually.
Crystal says hi from sweltering Arkansas.
It's pretty hot here, too. But I don't think we have the humidity that you guys do.
Yeah. Fran guessed Bahamas.
Oh, that's cool.
Veronica says we need to have you up here for some clinics. Go ahead.
Like Texas has so many towns and cities that are like named after other countries and other cities from other countries. So like there's a Paris, Texas, there's a Rome, Texas. We have like so many cities. So there could be a Bahamas, Texas, but that would be incorrect anyway. So
a guess of New Jersey, which I guess is
No, I've never been accused of having a Jersey accent.
Oh, you got Greece, Canada. Sue says winner. Pennsylvania. Jan says Austin area. You don't have the Texas drawl. It's actually not even from Austin area.
No, Fort Worth. So, yeah, no, it's funny because I have 6 siblings, and none of which have the accent that I do.
No.
So it's very strange. My dad has a pretty distinct Texan accent. My mom is pretty just neutral. Like, I don't know what you would call that.
It's not.
Maybe a slight Texas accent, but that's because she's lived here for a long time. But she was originally from Michigan. And like my siblings don't. Like, do you detect a Texas drawl in my siblings?
No, they say y'all, but mostly they don't sound like you wouldn't meet most. I don't think most of them you'd meet would you even guess that they were from Texas, and they don't sound like Parker.
No, I'm unique.
Marie says, so if you're from Texas, are you bilingual Spanish?
I wish. I really do. It's one of my huge regrets is not learning Spanish. I still have time. I can still learn Spanish, but no, I'm not bilingual. I know one language.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sue says, so if you're from Texas, where did you pick up the variant accent? Oh, and tell us about your siblings. You answered that already. Crystal says they have a Paris, Arkansas, and a Houston, Arkansas, but she's in Toadsuck, Arkansas.
Whoa, that's a unique name. That brings up some like images of just kind of like swampy area. Would I be wrong? I don't know.
I don't know Arkansas that well.
I don't know. I've been to Arkansas only once in my life. Maybe I passed through it a few times road traveling, but I went fishing there and I caught nothing. But I wasn't fishing for very long. It was very pretty where we were at. So anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys, there's not really very many gated horse questions. So
hit me with
some gated questions that
yes.
you would normally ask me if I were doing this video. Yeah, I don't think I've put you on a gated horse yet.
No, but the only horse I've been on that was yours is Jackson.
You were on Jackson,
and he's a quarter horse.
Yeah,
I do know that. I do know that he's a quarter horse.
And I didn't have Buck, I think, other than the first when we got together. Because I would have probably had you on
never
Buck.
met Buck.
Yeah.
Never met Buck.
Yeah.
What kind of a horse was he?
He was a Kentucky Mountain.
Okay.
But that's when I went to Ohio. I sold him.
Yeah. And Serenity is a Rocky Mountain, correct?
Serenity is a Tennessee walking horse standardbred mix.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Firefly's half Rocky.
Okay, there you go. Somewhat correct.
Anna said, my best guess is that we are not hearing an accent, but have a bit of a speech impairment.
It could be an impediment, but I've never really had that checked out. So the funny thing is that as a child, people could understand me like completely. They never said like, oh, you have an accent. I don't know at what age. It was like later in my teens. So maybe 16, 17, people began to like question me more about it. And like, hey, you have an accent. I was like, really? So it is something I would have to ask my family. Like, did they ever notice I had an accent or a speech impairment as a kid? But everyone like could understand most of what I said. And it's only been recently, past 15 years or so, that I have to clarify a lot of what I say.
So yeah, unfortunately, when Parker introduces himself, that's why like I introduced him, because when he introduces himself, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't sound like Parker.
It sounds like Paco. That's what other people hear.
So
but, yeah.
So what's your name?
Parker. So everyone tell me if that actually sounds like my name or if it sounds like something else.
Yeah. So, okay, here we go. We have a question. Here we got a question from Zach. Thank you, Zach, for... Okay, name 5 types of gated horses.
Oh. Zach is not going to be easy on me. Rocky Mountain, Tennessee Walker. Gated mule, mule? Does that count?
As a
Does that
breed,
count? It's not really a breed. Can you give it to me? Can you give it to me?
He's definitely been to clinics where we've had like all the different kinds.
Yeah, I'm blanking on it. What do they call it? Icelandic?
Mm-hmm.
Icelandic.
We've only had like one at a clinic, so I don't know where that came from.
That's another. What are the big ones? Not the Frisians.
Andalusians? No, those are not. Clydesdales? Those are not gated.
No. Let me get back to you, Zach.
So he got 4.
Oh, 4? I got 4. I got
mule
4.
If you count.
It's close.
If you count that. Okay. Laura says, can you give pointers on taking video still pics of horses?
Actually, that would be a better question for Ivy, because Ivy has been shooting horses way longer than I have.
But that's a really good idea for a video.
But it is a good. We should do that at some point.
Yeah. Because
there's probably a lot of people that follow you that have to film their horses and they want to get like the best kind of shot.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I take direction from Ivy when I'm taking photos and videos for her. And I'm actually definitely a better videographer than I am a photographer. But I don't know, what would be some tips that you would give, just some quick tips that you would
So
give people?
let's say you're not using your phone for taking pictures or videos of your horse.
Can I just say one thing? Like, yeah, if you want a really good photo, like a really wide lens is not the way to go. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, go ahead.
No, what he said. No, exactly right. So phones generally have wider cameras on them. You would rather shoot horses with the longest lens you have. Now, long means the focal length. So if you have a camera and you have a kit lens, it'll be something like 18 to 55. That's the Canon kit lens. You want to be shooting horses at 85 millimeters or longer. Ideally, I really like 135 or 200 millimeter, which does mean you have to back up a lot.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a horse on a landscape, like you've got beautiful mountains behind them, you could shoot on a wider lens if the horse is small in the picture.
Yeah.
But if you want the horse to look nice,
you need that good headshot of the horse.
Yes. Back up,
a nice
zoom
long
in.
Lens.
Long
85
lens.
Would probably be the minimum, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Yeah. Now, I've done some shots with 35 millimeter, but you have to do it carefully. The horses look out of proportion, and anybody that looks at the photo will know you used a wider lens. That's a good point. We'll try to do a video about that.
Yeah, maybe you can have me back on.
Yeah. If they want to see you back on.
Oh, they'll want to see me back on. Thumbs up if you do, or however this works.
Karen says, what's the best way to teach your horse to keep his head down?
Ooh.
Okay, so let's just first.
Yeah.
So, how many times have you seen me train horses to drop their heads?
Like all the time.
Okay.
It's yeah. Eating dirt low, right?
Yes.
That's the term. What's the best way? It's loose rein. Am I close? Kind of. Well, I'll take kind of. It is.
I've even ranted to you about how to teach.
You have, but it's been a while since you've ranted.
I know it was a while ago.
It's because I'm trying to think of like what happened last clinic, how you were helping some of those.
Which was Idaho.
Idaho. There were a few that were high-headed.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many. Not as many as some other clinics.
No, you are correct that with some of the horses in that clinic, we were doing a lot of loose rein, but
right,
not just
because a lot of them would have their head up, and then as soon as they soften, which is the term, soften, you're just looking for that little bit of soften, then you basically let go of the reins. You just and I've seen people, and Ivy's right there, but they're holding that rein still pretty tight, and it's like, it's easy for me because I'm just sitting in a chair watching, and I'm like, loose rein, like drop the reins. But I know it's much harder when you're a rider and you're processing everything. But anyway, I think that answered your question for sure. Yeah. Good. No, do you need to elaborate on that?
No, he's right. Okay. And there's free videos on training it. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I want to know more, there's free videos, and I'll put a link in the description at the end. Steph says she can confirm the bathroom thing.
Yeah, a lot of people can. But Steph knows. Steph definitely knows. Hi, Steph.
Okay, so Nancy has a question for you. Can you recognize the difference between a rack and a foxtrot?
No. Oh, you want more than that? No, I actually cannot. So I am still trying to figure out and to identify each trot. Well, trot is easy, but like the different types of gaits and trots and stepping paces, all that. It's still very hard for me to tell. It's easier when it's on the road, like especially for gaiting, like you can hear that distinct pucka. But there's still some times where my ears are playing tricks, and you have a horse gaiting, and I'm like, that, like, is it really pucka? Like, and so I'm still training my ears and my eyes to recognize some of those things.
Yeah, and sometimes when we're on the road, he's also videoing too, which means you can't
I'm seeing it on a smaller, like,
you
LCD
can't just
screen.
watch it and listen. He has to like follow and not like have the camera and not follow me. Do you remember anything about the foxtrot that I've talked about? If you don't, it's okay.
No, I don't think so. Nothing's coming to mind. As soon as this video is done, I'll probably remember everything.
Okay,
but-
so the foxtrot, there has to be a head nod.
Hmm.
And the saddle rack, there's no head nod. That's the...
I knew that.
Yeah. Okay. Debbie says, lovely couple, nice vibe. We like to think so, but you know.
We're always fighting. Always fighting.
Yes, especially at clinics.
Yes.
Fran says, I have a spotted saddle horse that rides with a level top line, is very pacey and very heavy on the front. How do I fix her?
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let me spell this out. That rides with a level top line. Head down, stop and praise.
So she said, you're close. She said she has a level
That's
top
my
line.
answer for everything. It's what I hear the most at clinics. It's head down, stop and praise. So I
So the
figured
horse's head is level.
Okay.
So not high.
Mm-hmm.
And still pacing.
Okay.
So you'd still say head down?
Right. You would want it still to get lower. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because eating dirt low.
Yes.
So what would be some tricks?
The next thing that I would absolutely teach you to do is train your horse to leg yield. So combine that head down with leg yield and forward motion, and there's no way your horse won't gait if you get a good leg yield. So, great question.
Funny. My answer was different.
What was your answer?
More treats.
That's why he's not teaching the clinics yet.
Not yet.
These are good questions for you. They're not holding back. My new gaited horse gaits, trots, canters. My
English?
I think English horse, not just tack-wise. I am not sure what that sentence was. Is it okay to ride English gaits with a gaited horse? You get a lot of opinions saying, oh, break is gaiting. So assuming you mean trot with your English horse, there's nothing wrong with training the trot. However, lots of people will disagree with me. Basically, if you want to train the trot and the gait, you can.
Mm-hmm.
I'd let Parker answer, but this is not even something I usually talk about at clinics.
No, you should go ahead if this is kind of a unique question.
So
I'll give my opinion afterwards.
Yeah, you can do that. Tell me if I got it right.
Okay, I will.
So the idea is, I don't have one right now, but if I get one, like, so Firefly is 2 years old. When I start training her, I plan to teach her to gait first, to let her do whatever she wants, then train her to gait, and probably train her to trot on cue, and that is completely fine. Yes, people will disagree with you, but it's your horse. So I'd recommend you train a really solid gait first, and then train the trot separately, and then you can have either one for riding.
That's really weird. That was my exact answer that I was going to give.
Pretty good.
That's uncanny.
Anna says she has an accent. She's from Germany. Thankfully, It's not too bad, but I'm usually pretty good at picking up other people's accents, and I've noticed that folks in this country are not very good at picking up accents.
Could be. We Americans love accents, so I think we just like jump the gun whenever we hear just like people that sound just slightly different than us. It's funny because it's the first time in my life, it's the only time, well, there's probably a lot of other times, but that I feel like a lie would satisfy people more than the truth. So when people ask me about my accent, I tell them I'm from Texas. You can see their face just drop. They're just like disappointed. And so I do want to like at times lie and say, oh, I am from Australia, or, from, now I can say France because that's in my repertoire now. So
Crystal clarifies, heavy on the front gated horses, that confirmed, no body issues, been completely cleared. So here's the thing, heavy on the front is, sometimes it's a confirmation issue, but sometimes you need go forward, you need energy forward, absolutely must, and you need to teach them to lift that front end up, and you need to do leg yields, good leg yields at the walk and a faster speed.
I like the next question. I'm currently very interested in gated meals. Your thoughts? I've never had a gated meal. No, I know. Anna, it's a typo, or as always, your computer probably like tried to fix a word which did not need fixing and just auto-corrected. Gated mule is my guess that you're asking about. I think that would be pretty cool, and I think Ivy would love a gated mule. I would be interested in riding one, because Ivy is always raving about them. She loves working with mules at clinics. So it seems.
Yeah.
You could correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
You talk about them enough. So I think it would be pretty fun. And I know we've talked about maybe getting one at some point. But yeah, I don't think I have a breed at this point in mind other than just trusting you to get me a good one. So if it's a mule, like that would be pretty awesome. I know a lot of people would be pretty, I don't know, jealous.
If it was a good
I
gait
think,
mule,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're training it, it will be a good
Okay, I
gated
think
mule.
you know the answer to this one, though, love. Yes, it'll be a good one. Sue says, okay, so what is the most important thing to train your horse to do in order to encourage gait?
Stop and praise.
Well, that's something that you do,
Nailed
too.
it.
Yeah. Yes, I actually, so it's not, yes, stop and praise is, like, the most important thing.
And don't praise a little bit. Don't stop a little bit. Wait. Just take out your phone, check your email, sing a song, 2-3 minutes. Just be patient. Just be absolutely patient. Let that horse deep breaths. Just, just let that horse relax. Let him eat grass. Just let him stand. And if he's not comfortable standing, some horses, maybe let them walk around a little bit, but just let them be relaxed. So.
Yeah, what he said. That was perfect.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Zach says,
question,
well
so.
done. You guys are nice together. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
And Anna clarified mules is correct.
Yes. It's like, you eat horse meat? Really? But specifically gated. No.
Yeah. Crystal also asks again, tips, I figure ground poles and cavaletti, anything else. So yes, ground poles and cavaletti, but lots of forward energy and definitely train the leg yield because the leg yield really helps the horse to move and loosen their shoulders. A lot of gaited horses are very stuck through their shoulders and won't move and soften through there. And so that's what I would tell you there.
So, how many poles, how many cavaletti would you do?
Usually good question. I'd start with just 1 or 2 cavaletti, not too high up because if they're heavy on the forehand, they need to practice picking their feet up. And yeah, about 10, 12 feet apart, depending on the size of your horse. Bigger horses can be a little smaller. If it's a big horse, or bigger horses can be bigger, farther apart. If it's a smaller horse, a little closer together, but not too much. Yeah. Cynthia says, put Parker on a rocky mountain.
Sure. Why not?
Debbie says, oh, bless him, he's trying.
Well, thank you, Debbie. I think I'm doing pretty good. Head down, stop and praise.
So, Sue wants to tell you that it starts with a P. So one of the gated horse breeds starts with a P.
Oh, okay. Is it a hard P or like a PH?
A hard P.
Hard P. Pasifino?
Yes!
Really?
Yes!
Wow, I don't even know how that... Okay. I mean, yes, I knew that. I was just holding back. I was letting there to be some...
That was a very unsure Pasifino.
No, answer. It was very sure. It was very sure.
Okay, that's one of them. There's actually another one, but that starts with a P. That's one of them. Yeah. Good clue, Sue. Melissa was giving you a hint. She said stop and.
Yeah, I
knew that one.
I got it, Melissa. Thank you.
Sue says we're adorable. Thank you. We try very hard. Yeah. Nancy says a lot of us are still trying to figure it out. Good for you for trying.
Oh. I thought at first I thought she meant my accent.
Oh, I think the gait.
The gait. Okay.
Let's see. Parker is very cute. Congrats and thanks for the intro. You're welcome.
Thanks,
if you
Anna.
Come to the clinics, Parker will most likely be with me, so you'll get a chance to meet him. Okay. This is a good question here. I don't know that it's for you, though. Max says, will you make a video on how to shoot the best photos of different specific positions of the hoof that would be good to send to someone who might be able to help with the hoof problem if there's no vet available? I have tried to take high-quality photos to send to a lady who has volunteered to help. My Apple phone pics turn out terrible. And I think you mentioned photo distortion a few days ago. That's, I actually saw a photo, like a graph for how to take photos of their feet. Do you have a suggestion, or should we just make another video about this?
Maybe you should make another video.
So that is actually a really good suggestion, and I will work on that. And I'll see if I can find that graph because it showed all the different angles on how you should take those pictures. And you can do it with your phone. I have done it, so I'll try to.
Make sure you have good lighting.
That's the one thing, because if you're in the sun, so part of the horse will be in the sun and part will be in the shade because it's underneath them, and those the light contrast between being in the full sun or the shadow can be hard for phones to capture.
Yeah. But that is a really good question because there's probably a lot of people that don't have a vet that they can just readily go to or have come out and look at the horse's hooves. So
yes,
that's a great question.
we will try to do that to help you guys. So my mom comments that Kwame, Timothy, and she are watching. Hey
hi
guys.
Mom, hi Kwame, hi Timothy. Timothy, what are you doing? Skateboarding?
It's not a skateboard, right? Isn't it like a... Was it a skateboard? Longboard? I don't know.
It could be a longboard. Sorry if I don't know the proper terminology, Timothy. But
that's my brother. Okay. Crystal says, do you have a video on how to teach the trot? Crystal, I do. I will share a link in the description after that video's over because I did already do a video on it. So
I feel like I need to rush out and do a video of myself teaching on how to teach the trot.
Can we have you gating and then trotting out in the parking lot? Show the difference.
What, me gait?
Yeah, with your impression of a gait.
My impression of a gait?
And then a trot?
No.
Absolutely not. That would be hilarious.
No, I'm not doing that.
Sorry, I tried. But I will share the video that I made. Okay, so Max said the lady sent shots at angles she wants to see, but like I say, my photos are pitiful. So you should do it either on a cloudy day or in the shade or in the barn.
Nice, even lighting.
Yeah, so that's why not in the barn is good, but in the shade or a cloudy day or just after the sun's gone down or about to go down, so it's the light is even. And hopefully you don't have a really old phone. Most of them should be able to take okay
good
photos.
Enough quality.
What you could do, Max, is you could message me privately and send me the photos you took, and I can see kind of what the issues are to try to help you get some better photos.
Yeah.
Anna says, don't say France about your accent.
Okay. I won't.
Jan says, we need to come to Montana to work with the gated mules. There's a lot of gated equines out there. Yeah, we were in Idaho. They said there's a lot of gated horses out there, and Montana and stuff.
Looks like Patrice had some good gating today.
Mm-hmm. Good. That's really good. Your videos, you're making a lot of progress. So, let's see. Melissa says we're super cute together. We know.
Never heard that before.
Debbie says, Ivy in York, we have a fabulous lady called Marie Brettenden, I think listening in, who is known as the Rocky Mountain Horse go-to lady. That's awesome. She said she's such a great ambassador for this wonderful all-around breed. That's really good. We need people who will be honest about the different breeds. And not just so. I was talking to somebody the other day that there are people, especially in the Rocky Mountain breed, they'll tell you these are the calmest, sweetest horses, and they all gait naturally.
And what's your reply to that?
Well, they obviously don't all gait naturally, or they wouldn't be in my clinics.
Yeah. Send me video.
Yeah, prove it. Send me the video. But, so Rocky Mountains have a really good personality. Or they can, but there's also, just like in every breed, quarter horses, thoroughbreds, Arabians, Appaloosas, every breed there's good and bad. And we need ambassadors that will help clarify what's really amazing about the breed, but be honest and truthful with the fact that they're horses.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Before we get to some of these other people. What would you recommend to all those ladies out there, or even guys, husbands out there, on what would make a good husband horse? Like, what are you looking for? So, just take me, for example. Yes. If we're going out today to go purchase a horse or to look at a horse, what are you looking at? And does, personality, does that factor in at all? Like, the guy's personality, the horse's personality? I know you probably want something calm, something that's not going to... But, what are you looking for?
So, you're jumping the gun a little bit because I'll probably do a video on, buyer beware for...
Coming soon video.
Yes.
Okay, give us a teaser.
I'll give you a teaser on the husband part. So let's assume we're not talking about what to look for in terms of having someone be honest with you when they're selling a horse, because that's what we're going to talk about. But for husband horse, I am looking for calm. I'm looking for a horse that, so with a beginner rider, guy or girl,
Mm-hmm.
it's our instinct, if something happens, to squeeze our legs closed. And I want the horse to not be so responsive that if you accidentally squeeze your legs, they go forward.
Gotcha.
So that's actually one of the things I'd look for.
Okay.
Now, as you get to be a better rider, I want that horse to go forward as soon as you ask. I don't want you to have to kick and kick. But when you first get on, I want a horse that's calm and friendly, and I want it to match your personality. If you want to go fast, I want a horse that doesn't mind walking and speeding up, so not being like what we call a deadhead.
Speed demon, but just kind of like
but,
it will pick up the pace if need to.
But probably the biggest thing for a husband horse, if they're new, is make sure they're not too responsive to leg. Because if they're too responsive, if something happens, our instinct as humans is to do this.
And then they just like...
And then if they take off, you're like, well, that is so not helpful. And of course, I'd be teaching you to ride, so you didn't squeeze your legs. But that's, I guess, a big one.
Okay. All right.
I mean, calm. Being calm is important. But, I mean, the horses are going to spook even a calm one. So it's about what they do when you close your legs.
And probably one that comes to the mounting block and would just stand still as well.
Well, yes, but I can train that in really easily. So.
Okay.
And I have a DVD.
Can't train.
Right?
Oh.
Do you remember these pictures that you took?
Yes, I did take this photo actually.
Yes, you did.
So I guess I can comment on some photography.
Yeah. So he did do some photography for me. Did I tell? Yeah. Anyway, so no. So tell me the mounting block is really easy to train. So I would train that.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Yeah. And if you don't know how to train it, then buy the DVD. Yes.
Or watch the free video.
Shameless plug.
Yes.
I can do it because I'm the husband. So.
Oh, do you know how to answer this one? You probably don't. But Elaine says, "Hey Ivy." No. Oh, there you go. Elaine says, "Hey Ivy, how do I pronounce your last name?" My last name I have
previous name
now,
or the one that you have now?
So my last name now is Starnes. And previously it was Scheck-Snyder. You know how many people come up to me and said, "Thank you so much, Parker, for changing her last name."
It's
happens
true.
all the time.
It happens a lot.
Okay, how about this one? Sharon says, "How exactly do you use the leg yield to get gait?" Do you know that one?
I don't think I know enough of it, but I know that, right, as you're yielding, at some point you come to a moment where you just get up and go, right?
Oh, hang on. Can you go? Sorry, technical difficulty. Run. It's going to be just on the ground.
Cloud, take my place.
Hopefully, okay, so if we lose the video, we will come back. Hopefully it stays live. So, patience. We'll get to that question in just a sec, assuming that we can get this plugged in before the computer dies. That stays.
We haven't gone anywhere. Just waiting. She'll be back. Don't worry, people.
Haha.
Save.
Okay. There we go. We're saved.
We think.
Okay, we got power. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so how exactly do you use the leg yield to get gait? So you started to say.
What
how
did I
do
say
you use
before
leg yield?
emergency?
You started to say that when you're yielding, there's a moment.
Yes. There's a moment that you would want to just kind of tell the horse to go forward. Is that correct?
Yeah. So. Yes.
So how long? What's the length of that?
So no, you're right. So when you ask the horse to leg yield, so assuming we're at the walk, and you can do that at the walk or the gait, start at the walk. So you ask the horse to leg yield sideways, and then when it has a nice step over, like when the front end is stepping over, squeeze
just get up and go.
or sometimes tap the shoulder with the whip or the crop to go forward.
Okay.
Yes, just really go.
Okay.
Yeah, if you lean forward, you'll be in focus more.
I like being out of focus. It improves my looks.
So there we go. That's a good question. Pamela says, "Why not put him on a gaited horse?" Well, we'd like for him to be on a gaited horse. Yeah. I don't have a good. So I ride lots of good gaited horses at clinics, but I don't own one.
I don't get on the horses at clinics.
So
you don't own one.
I own some gaited horses, but none of them are ready for a husband.
Right.
So
because you're training two of them,
and they're not ready yet.
Yeah,
they might be.
One is pretty good, right? Flynn is really.
He's actually Gunnar was the one that was doing better.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
But Flynn has a nice personality,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's a little barn sour.
But
So
yeah,
anyway,
Gunnar
we will.
was making huge improvements.
Yes.
So.
Let's see. Christian says, my Rocky Mountain mare is 5 years old, and I've been riding her in a bitless side pull. I like to train her to a bit as well for multiple reasons. It's a good idea. I purchased the Rocking S Ray snaffle, and she has had it on maybe probably 9 times for about 15 to 20 minutes. She never stops mouthing the bit. I did order the McGregor releasing bit, and I'm awaiting its arrival. Should I keep with the Rocking S or keep trying? Good question. Do you want to? I probably should answer that.
You probably should. My guess is that you would keep trying, but if the horse doesn't like the bit, right, you probably don't want to push it too much.
Yeah, that's pretty close to what I'd say. I'd say actually get out and ride. So in your comment, you didn't say whether you're riding or just letting the horse carry it. Horses that have never had a bit in their mouth will mouth and mouth and mouth it. So here's what I'd suggest. If you have other snaffle bits, put them in the horse's mouth and ride the horse. So try the Rocking S again and get on and ride in a safe area like a round pen or an arena, closed. And if you have other snaffle bits, try those and just see if there's one that the horse likes better. It doesn't have to be the bit that you're going to ride long term, but just find if there's something that feels more comfortable in the horse's mouth.
That makes sense.
And then ride for the short amount of time and just see, because even young horses, whether they like the bit or not, will mouth it for a long time. It's a good question. Debbie says we're funny.
What? We weren't even trying.
No, not at all. Nancy says, when you teach Parker to ride, will you do some videos of it? We might all learn something. That's a good question. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
So I'll give you some tips. I have a video now on how you can be a better rider. A lot of what he's going to do at the beginning is ride on a lunge line or in a round pen without stirrups.
Very boring, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys want to see that.
Well, but they may want to see it, but it is boring.
Well, I'll make it look good, but
you make
other than that,
look good.
Well, yeah, you'll make me look good.
But it's a lot about learning to balance without using the stirrups first, and then how to use the reins.
Yeah.
Once he knows that.
Yeah, probably should wait until I have a little bit more time under my belt riding, and then maybe we can do some more videos.
Sounds like he's not in favor of it.
You might be able to persuade me. The public might be able to persuade me. But...
What if we charge him money for it?
Ooh, if you gave me money, I mean.
Okay, going back to Christian's question about the bit, she says she's done both. When I ride, she still mouths it. Some horses do it. Definitely keep trying different bits and just see where you're at, and just keep riding with it right now. That's the only tips I can give you. Jody says, is Parker interested in riding? So they must not have been watching the earlier videos.
Okay, so if you're just tuning in, I love horses, and I have ridden before, but it's been a very long time. Usually it was trail riding. It was like, one of those, if you go someplace, like Big Bend. I went to Big Bend National Park in Texas, and they had trail riding, and it was, like super calm horses, and you didn't need experience to be on these horses. So I've done that a few times, but I was really young, and then I think my friends, some good friends of mine had horses, and I once just kind of got on and just started galloping, and it was really fun. But since then, I have not been riding, but I would like to, because Ivy and I would like to do a little bit more, like trail riding together. Well, maybe not trail riding, just riding together, because Ivy's not a huge trail rider, and I don't know if I will be either.
Lots of people do want to take us trail riding, though.
They do, that's true. So, so maybe I should remain a non-rider?
No.
No, I am interested in horses.
So my mom asks, how does Parker like Ivy's dog?
Oh, that's a good question.
Love.
Yeah, this is the third member of our family. Come here.
He's gonna have to up. He's like, come on.
You can see that. Come on. Up.
Step up.
Step up. There we go. Oh, where's he? Yep.
He
Anyway,
was
he was there.
Good boy, Cloud.
Yeah. So how do I like Cloud? I love Cloud. I don't like Cloud when it's 3 a.m. in the morning and he has to go to the bathroom and I have to take him out because we live currently in an apartment complex until we are able to find some land. So I can't just like let him outside, out the door, and let him do his thing and then come back in. But that's the only time I don't like Cloud. And he gives kisses, so he loves giving kisses. So I am sometimes just on the bed, and if my face is turned towards Cloud and he sees it, and if his tongue can reach my face, then I will get licked. So it's quite a surprise to wake up to.
Which fortunately doesn't happen too much.
Not that often. But Cloud is a good boy. And Cloud keeps Ivy safe, so yeah. I like
Cloud. He takes such good care of Cloud. He does. Okay, let's see.
So what's a French snaffle?
Okay, we transitioned from a French snaffle to a D-ring to the Rockin'-S. So the French link snaffle means it has 3 pieces. It's got a bar in the middle, not just the single joint.
Okay.
That's what the single joint is. To a D-ring, which the D-ring only describes the outside, not the mouthpiece.
Okay.
And then the Rockin'-S. So, yeah. Keep trying some, and whichever one your horse likes best, try that more. Zach says, what hobbies does Parker have that he'd like to share with Ivy in return for riding? That's a good question.
That's a good question. Zach has good questions. So I've already gotten Ivy out on the tennis court, which was fun. We were both really bad. I used to play tennis a lot, and I was actually pretty good. I want to say I could turn pro, but I was decent. I could hold my own.
Bad.
And so I thought I would cream Ivy. I was like, it's been a while, but I would just take her out there, and I would just like really.
He'll definitely.
But we were both really bad, and it was kind of a mess. We were chasing balls more than we were hitting them. So
yeah, he definitely will. If he gets a little bit of practice, he's just gonna cream me because I can't return accurately at all. My serves, I had a better serve percentage than you did.
Yeah, you did.
So I think
you did.
I don't know that I won, but it was close because my serves were in, and he was trying to like cream.
Yeah, I was going for the hard serves.
And
I was going for the
yeah.
Andy Roddick 100 mile per hour serves, but it failed me.
So if you don't know, I like volleyball, and I played volleyball for like the last 10 years with friends when I lived in Illinois, and so started dating Parker, and Parker, who you really would say you hadn't played volleyball.
Yeah, pool volleyball.
Wait, that doesn't count.
Volleyball in my backyard because we had a net when we were kids, but that was about it.
So he's come in and started playing with our group, and he's been amazing at it. And I think part of it's too like the tennis. So like he serves the volleyball like he serves in tennis, so it looks different, but you've shocked us with your serves, how hard you could hit that ball.
Yeah, accurately. It's still not as hard, but I was trying to go for more accuracy than
you played with us like a few times, and anyway, so he's doing really good at
that is a good question though. I don't know what other things I would put you through. Let me think about that one.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is a good question. Something that I would make you do in return for having to ride horses.
Good question.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you. So Crystal's we're talking about bits again. I feel bad for whoever's going to watch this because we jump around on topic so much. Crystal says, mine listens so well in Rockin'-S. I'm trying the McGregor short shanks that doesn't do well in it. Or it was just a bad day, so I keep trying. Yep, just keep trying, and it may be that you really will do well in the Rockin'-S. That's why I've got 2 very different bits that I recommend, because some horses need different bits.
You've been at clinics where you've tried one bit, and it does well with so many horses, but it doesn't do well for that specific horse, and so you would change the bit, because it is about comfort for the horse, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is no one bit fits all.
Yeah.
Probably no one wants to hear that. We all wish that there was an easy way to just fix the gait and training, but there isn't.
Let's see. Debbie says, I've got to leave this wonderful chat, but I'm following you both now, and I'd like to say how great we both are. Well, thanks, you, Debbie.
Thanks for following.
Sue says, my husband was a long-term tennis player, and he served volleyball the way you just described.
Yeah, just huge
up, and then this
huge
overhand.
hand motion. Just, yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's about it. Tomorrow we're going to be. What am I talking about tomorrow? I keep forgetting what I
don't know.
posted.
I don't follow you.
I'm talking about
I actually do.
I'm posting about what treats I'm using. I don't know why people seem to ask this question a lot. To me, it doesn't matter too much what you use, but tomorrow we are going to be talking about different treats you can use. And I'm actually gonna post and get people's suggestions, but I've used a lot of different ones and I've got some tips on that. So that'll be my topic for tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching and all the questions.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, love.
Thanks for being on and letting them throw gaited horse questions at you.
I think they were pretty easy on me, actually, but yeah, it was fun.
And then really quickly, just because I like wrapping up these questions, Lisa says, you're talking about tripping the other day. I was wondering about who has Cushing's, could be prone to stumbling. I don't actually know that much about Cushing's. Go talk to your vet or do research online. I'm sorry, I don't know on that one. Possibly. Marcia says, the Rockiness doesn't do well for my foxtrot, or what other bit would you recommend? It would depend on why your horse doesn't like it, so you could message me about that. Shanna says, it's been such a fun video. Maybe Parker can join on some other videos in the future. Sure.
I remember Shanna.
Yeah. Yeah, in Virginia.
Virginia. Yeah. Hi, Shanna.
Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for the questions and the comments. It makes it really fun. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You can say bye.
Oh. Bye. I'm distracted now.